himself. Running, I guess you could call it an aggro tri-lane here with the Shadow Shaman and the Tiny. Do you like this decision?
I mean, it's got a lot of kill potential, right? Like, we'll have to see. Yeah, skilled up the morph on the Morphling, and patrolling his way towards top as well. So, able to even it out. I'm not 100% sure.
Tiny was unfortunately just a little mispositioned there. That the tower could still see him right in this spot.
Yeah.
So Morphling knew and didn't block too much. Didn't get super punched right at the beginning though. As I say that, Brian is the
Kobe
one in trouble. Yeah.
Kobe is in trouble. I wonder if he was he trying to do that maybe to see and scout out if there's any sort of ward there. You know, kind of like the mid lane trick.
Maybe. But either way, he's lost a lot of health. Morphling's just drifting away over to the creep camp. I don't know what he's doing.
Look at this mid lane though. We've got Korea Snipe trying to happen from Tempo, but this is the one right click on it.
Is there any way for that to work? First.
That's... Oh.
Okay, so he throws Fisher at mid. That's a little bit annoying, but not really a big inconvenience for now.
And it looks like he's having that sort of involvement in the mid lane, but it's very early on. I don't think you're going to be dying if you're Alacrity here on this OD at this point. You know, you need to be a little bit more worried. As it gets later on, as the puck gets abilities, more burst potential, as we saw in recent patches, that waning rift, just the one value point.
Yeah, I've even seen people in this matchup just opt for whoop. Alright, that's for the top. Shuai just going down, no problem. Still level 1 supports that just nukes and right. And
yep.
At the end of that, Morphling down.
You get punished really easily, and as we were saying before, two of the strongest supports that you can have in this early game with the Shadow Shaman and the Tiny. Might even find him out again. If they picked him off, that would be disastrous. Just pick back towards the lane now.
Bryant, okay, gonna take some more hits. This Morphling just, I don't know, he seems like he doesn't know what he's supposed to do in this situation. He's got 4 CS to his name. He doesn't have a particularly strong support to help him contest this lane, so yeah. I guess he's kind of left trying to soak. But TNC are pretty brutal. They're dragging the wave all the way back, keeping it completely under control. Gabby's not going to do anything stupid and let this push. And that means that the Morph just doesn't have anywhere to play, really.
Yeah. We've had this Urshka sitting in mid for quite a while as well, you know, not having that presence in the bot lane, not really getting any gank off. Might be able to get onto the puck now, though.
Nice turnaround, coming in, and won't be able to jaunt away. They brought both supports, forced the phase shift, got the stun, and a nice easy kill. I was waiting for an opportunity to south, but he gets brought in. Okay, so he's straight back to mid. Decramp's at least getting something done, though I still don't think it's not changing the outcome of these lanes too much. Morphling is still completely stunned at the top. He's actually getting tossed back into Gabby here, forced to skill the waveform and then wave away.
And a lot of people aren't skilling waveform at all these days, right? Like, yeah. Just the mana cost for the amount of damage that it does, what a Morphling requires, it's just not really worth it anymore these days.
Yeah, people seem to be going the early points in Adaptive Strike a little bit more, secure the range creeps, just a little bit of... It's more damage efficient for harassment anyway, and you don't have to compromise your positioning, right? I think that's the other big thing.
Yeah.
MCY finally drags a creep wave. He wants all 4 of these CS.
Yeah.
And look at AU. He's about to double his last hits.
He is, and AU it was just being a little bit cheeky about it. They know they don't need to worry about the Morphling for a little while, and so they're getting aggressive to this mid lane if they can.
He's actually kind of low. So too is Armel. He's got a salve ready. He's on cooldown for a little bit. So be able to get full duration off pretty much, and this is a haste Earthshaker scatting a Tiny. Jumping forward onto Alacrity once again. There is going to be the imprisonment. Could have a toss, but Alacrity's far enough away. He's going to be okay, though he didn't get a salve delivered. It's actually just the...
У нас тут через 10 секунд руны. Топи шейкер пытается.
Слушай, они 3 руны заберут.
看看这边能不能直接夺走，这边血球直接跟上了，晕住，开启出来皇家。
Forward here. the crit damage plus the tag team, and that is going to be a nice 2 bounty secured. I could probably even give a couple of sits of Brian.
Yeah. He did mostly buy out with the boots, so...
Oh, gets tossed away into the shackles. TNC. He's morphing strength this entire time. Looks like he will survive, but that is a lot of damage done. Forced into almost a complete strength morph. Shaker comes up here, throws a Fissure kind of ineffectually in their direction, but that's about it.
Yeah. Nice rotation by Geek Fam into that bot lane, obviously, to get that kill onto Cuckoo, although he hasn't had too bad of a time. We can see he's neck and neck with this Brewmaster in the last hit department. Top lane, they're going onto the morph again.
Again, morphing some strength. Toss is ready along with the Avalanche, but AU not going to opt for either. Just a little bit more harassment here. They are getting pretty close to some Arcane Boots for Tims as well. Now once they get that, that's they're gonna double down even more on the spam and harassment up here. They are pushing it into the tower with their first catapult wave. See if they can get it.
Yeah, we can see not really worrying too much about the CC side of things on Tims. He's just wanting to harass as much as possible, push this wave in. They know they've got the tri-lane, right? The Earthshaker's committing a lot onto this mid lane, and so they're going to be able to take out this tower really early on.
And this is very much the standard build, right? People maxing out the Ether Shock as fast as you can, just to give yourself a little bit more farm, get to your XP talent, and then secure your game. MCY manning up a little bit, needs to be careful of the burst. Oh, Tiny does a surprising amount of damage with 2 points Avalanche, 1 point Toss, and down he goes.
I don't know about that. I guess not reflecting the big boost that level 1 to level 2 Avalanche has.
And the 30%, yeah, 30% damage multiplier. They did fiddle with it a little bit since they made it so that the toss duration doesn't quite completely overlap with Avalanche duration, but he thought his strength morph was stronger than it was.
Absolutely. If Father Magnus, though, you're not too worried about how this early game has gone, right? Like, Brew is a pretty strong laner, obviously, with the ability to dodge out a lot of the damage and crit and harass out onto your enemy, so Magnus going level in the last hits with a Brew, pretty damn happy with.
Oh, I think Cuckoo's having a great old time down here at bottom. They are going to gank him up now. Let's see if the Primal Split gets used. Skewer a little bit further away. The split does get popped. AU still wants to fight this, though. He immediately gets sent up into the air. Armel also coming down here. He's got the coil available. Lines it onto the 2 supports. They're just going to ignore the Primal Splits for now. Rampo trying to make his way behind the trees. They bring KYXY back over. Now Armel actually a little bit low. Mana does manage to phase shift the clap nicely. Saves himself a lot of damage. They get the toss onto the tower. But there's a whole creep wave here, and KYXY still going in on the puck. Still no mana left on Armel. Nothing that he can really do. AU trying with the body blocks. Will this ball catch him? Not quite. And that is going to be Armel managing to escape. Okay.
Again, created a lot of space for the troll, but also for the Morphling, right? He's going to be very happy relative to where he was. It's just a lot of farm that he's been able to get up to 11 CS now versus the 51. So
he's having a miserable time.
Absolutely. Oh, Brian, getting going on.
A little bit of damage. AU not quite managing to link the Toss and Avalanche together, unfortunately. He was just on the edge, so back to the shrine. And we're starting to get to the point of the game where... Are you worried about the supports from Geek Fam now that we're kind of entering the mid-game? Because to me it seems like the TNC supports are just going to have a lot more impact, especially like once we see the tome come up.
I guess it depends how these next engagements go, right? Because Earthshaker has a surprising amount of farm. You know, he's ahead of the Shadow Shaman, who I think has been having a quote-unquote better early game. You know, obviously taking that tier 1 tower at top, getting a lot of last hits with the Ether Shock. But despite that, we've still got an Arcane Boots on this Earthshaker, and looks like he's going straight into the Blink after that.
If you get some space, get some time, should get this in a decent clip. Geek Fam just need to hold on to their remaining towers. AU's playing very aggressively. They got a nice deep ward here over in the dire jungle, and Geek Fam are kind of getting pushed back towards their tri-camp area. They've got some, I would call these even optimistic wards on the Radiant side of the map. Like, I don't think they're really going to be using these anytime soon.
Well, I don't think it's for any sort of kill potential. I think it's just so that they can know where to rotate safely, right? Like, you can see the troll is spending a lot of time in the jungle. He doesn't want to be doing that if they don't know if there's any sort of threat coming through.
But they don't have any vision on the troll. All their vision's on the Radiant side of the map.
Yeah, but... Oh, sorry, did you mean from Geek Fam?
Geek Fam's vision, yeah.
Oh, sorry about that. I thought it was TNC.
No, TNC's wards are great. They're completely controlling the dire jungle. I think that's fantastic. They can farm there however much they want. Geek Fam haven't taken the bottom tier 1 tower, so I don't really understand the point of all of these wards in the Radiant jungle. Like you're saying, it could just be to scout the TNC supports.
I guess. It could also just be realizing that Brew is probably the only one that's having a... Well, I think actually Alacrity is having a decent game as well, but just wanting to scout out any sort of rotations that do come through either to the bot lane or through the river to mid lane.
They're going on Tim's over at mid. This is double damage OD. Rotation in as well from the Brewmaster just to 100% here. This Dream Coil does come out onto 3, but no rotations in from TNC whatsoever. Armel just forced to jaunt himself backwards. Geek Fam trying to make a play around their catapults.
Rampo was ready with the stun there, gets it off again. He's got the phase shift and the illusory off though.
Toss back. AU getting slowed down a little bit here by the Cinder Brew. They're still chasing him.
Do you think they were trying to go for that snowball through the puck jaunt onto the tiny play for the instant stun?
Could have been Armel jaunting away, just timing that perfectly right as the snowball was arriving. TNC still spamming this up, really trying to hold on to this tower for a little bit longer, but not rotating either of the other cores. And Rampo actually getting isolated from his team, just gets picked off instantly.
Not ideal when you're an Earthshaker going that greedy build, going straight for the Blink Dagger. The one thing I was a little bit confused about is Gabby did spend a lot of the time in the jungle during all of that, rather than pushing the top lane. You know, might have been able to get at least some damage onto the objective if he used a ton of space that his team was able to give him.
Yeah, it does always feel like as a core player in general, the jungle needs to be the lowest priority, right? If there's a lane to be pushed or an objective to be hit, then jungle needs to come last.
Speaking of push though, we've got the Mass Serpent Wards ready in the top lane, and down they go.
They're probably going to get this tower, but they know they're going to drag Geek over here, and they're actually not even going to stick around. They know that there's going to be some kind of a smoke rotation, some sort of play made to defend this, and they just back all the way out.
They got it.
He even gets the last hit. Dang, Geek Fam unable to get the deny. They get all the ward farm, but still, that's well worth it. They've created so much room to pressure this top lane.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, just extending his net worth lead. He's at the top of the charts. Is Gabby on the troll? Not necessarily the mechanically skilled hero that we have seen him on. You know, Gabby Puck was really a mainstay of things a couple of years ago, but he certainly is very, very capable on whatever they decide to choose for him.
It's been interesting to see some of the players on this team actually shuffle around roles, right? Like it feels like we've seen Cuckoo play professionally on every position under the sun. Gabby's also, you know, done his time on a couple of roles. I feel like this new stuff suits them.
I feel like it's suiting them better than it was. Obviously, decent results. They won WESG as this particular lineup. They actually had Ravens instead of Cuckoo in the offlane, but
they couldn't have Cuckoo because of
things.
Issues.
Yeah, but no issues here with the DOTA miner in split up for grabs.
Just chasing Rampo away from top. Earthshaker still taking a lot of farm off of the map. Morphling actually just down with his team at bottom right now. But Armel and Cuckoo looking to defend this. Should be fine. They've got tons of spam.
Yeah.
Do you like the build that the OD is going for?
I don't mind the build, and I think you always want mobility on him, right? Like, whether that's a 4-staff or a Blink Dagger, it has to be one of the two, just because you're able to really chase up a lot of the early aggression your team's able to put on for you. I'm sure going to try and dive in really deep with this Brewmaster and the Tusk, and then leave the space open for the counter initiation coming through from the Earthshaker and the Blink Dagger, which is only about 300-400 gold away from. Speaking of that aggression, mid lane, set to be a clash.
Looking for this. Avalanche does catch the KYXY. They can't quite get in for a toss back, but do secure the deny. We might have a fight here, but you're also just about to say something at bottom.
Oh, just with the Magnus, he's going into the Guardian Greaves build rather than the Blink Dagger, so feeling confident with the rest of his team's ability to be that initiator. No daggers at all actually picked up right now, so you've got 4 heroes that can really competently use them. Tiny, Shadow Shaman, Magnus,
and Rampo. He's getting caught out. Avalanche clips him as well. They are going to be forced to use the Dream Coil, and Armel finishes him with the Orb. So they reveal that there's a bunch of heroes mid, and it is going to end up being what looks like a little bit of a trade as Geek Fam take bottom and TNC take the mid tower.
I feel like TNC could potentially stick around as well. They've got the Mass Serpent wards available if they wanted to try pushing the tier 2, but they're just choosing to back off.
Then they got a little bit of a net worth lead going. About 3k net worth, heading towards 6k experience, and win probability liking them just a little bit also as a result. Really good for Geek Fam that they take out this bottom tier 1 tower there. They desperately need some space to apply pressure on the map and be able to kind of take over the Radiant jungle. Now I think they finally enabled some of these wards. Like, I imagine that. Do you think it's going to be Morphling sitting down here and just pushing this out, farming the jungle, pushing it out?
Yeah, I would think so. You know, just having 2 extra creep camps that you're able to utilize is just so effective when the early aggression from TNC is always going to be coming at you. And speaking of aggression, they've got an aggressive ward here that they just placed after taking that tier 1 tower. I mean, it does scout out a lot of vision, a lot of TP rotations coming through. So I don't mind it. It's not as common these days.
Yeah, should do some good work for them. How many points do we have in the Empower? Okay, so Empower is maxed out now. So Gabby's farm should kind of skyrocket from here, so long as Cuckoo is following him around and handing out the Empower. It's always a little bit awkward, right, with the core Magnus, is that sometimes you don't actually want to be playing that close to your position 1. You'd rather be shoving out lanes elsewhere.
Exactly. But I feel like they've got the catch potential with the Puck and the Shadow Shaman and the Tiny to be able to kind of as a roaming squad of 3, where it's not that big a deal. But Armel just trying to create a lot of space in this mid lane. I wonder if KOXY knows that this Roche is going on. They've got a smoke up here and the Blink Dagger actually.
Oh, Rampo, smoke breaks, he jumps in, Echo Slam onto 3, Sandy's Eclipse also getting dropped. The chain stun coming through, they've lost 2 already, and it should be 1 more. Gabby gets the ultimate off though, now he's chasing in, he gets 1 kill, Alacrity in some trouble. Nice Primal is going to give Alacrity the space, but Tim's with the super long range Ether Shot finishes the kill on the OD, and now TNC just coming back in with numbers, looking to save their carry. They've got the lockdown onto this Morphling. He morphs into the Puck, but he doesn't have the mana. The RP gets used, but actually it's a phase shift dodge. MCY keeping himself alive, and now he rejoins the fight. The snowballs onto Gabby. Bryant may have bitten up a little bit more than he can chew here. It looks like Gabby just finished that kill quickly. TNC, they got caught a little bit, but it only cost them the 1 buyback in the end. Yeah, it seemed like they could still secure this. Yeah, Roche is so low that I don't think they're going to be able to turn this around, using a lot of their ultimates at the very start of the fight there with Geek Fam. Picking off 2 targets, but in the end, they used the Astral Imprisonment onto the Troll Warlords, so was able to get off the battle trance and turn the fight around. You know, it was a really good rotation, but perhaps just some targeted priority could have completely changed the outcome of that fight. He may have even just like had some issues with actually attacking him. Everyone was kind of stacked on top of the Roshan, and then the Fisher was pushing people around. I really think that I assumed, and I guess he also did, that the imprisonment was just going to kill Gabby, but he's actually pretty tanky with his S&Y already picked up. So it was a nice attempt by Geek. I think the other unfortunate thing is that they dropped the Sandy's Eclipse with 0 stats. They just walked in and dropped the combo. Did kill 2, but being unable to bring down Gabby really cost them that fight. Maybe just expecting the Puck to be right nearby, so you know, an immediate counter initiation. So, you know, went for all in play, and you know, I don't mind it at all. It was really good map awareness to be able to know that it was going on, but just these little things, you know, it's that 1% of difference that can, you know, make a Roche fight go your way versus, you know, unfortunately losing it. And I think it was a 4-for-2 trade and an Aegis lost. Now Gabby is just pretty much unstoppable. He's sitting super confidently at the top of the net worth, 10.5k, super far ahead of anyone else. They've got the items that they need on the Puck to be super effective with the Veil and the Blink. The Magnus is not too far away from picking up his Guardian Greaves, and then we'll hold the Blink following shortly after that. And do you kind of feel like that's just the peak timing for TNC?
Yeah.
They've got these initial couple of items.
I mean, I was sort of saying the 25 to 30 minute mark is probably where they're going to look to finish this. I mean, for SEA Dota, this is a low amount of kills, 12 kills in about 20 minutes time. It shows that these players do have some restraints as well with their rotations and what they're trying to do.
Do you think that's on one team not offering fights, or one team not looking for fights? What's the
I mean, I would have thought that it was TNC would be looking for more fights. AU, as we saw in the early game, was prowling around a lot, trying to find out, or at least scope out where the end team was. And it was Geek Fam just trying to be that protective, secure the farm that the rest of their team was trying to get. But it didn't seem to actually eventuate in any sort of fights. They were happy to create a lot of space for Gabby to just farm. It's not that high progression that they're really known for.
Oh, we're trying to bait Alacrity, but in the end, it's actually still going to be TNC taking this fight pretty nicely. The Cleaves coming through. They are controlling the Troll Warlord, sending him up into the air. Alacrity does buy back into the game, and now we've got Ramp down. Bryant running for dear life. Once again, the Cyclone keeping Gabby out of the fight. Cuckoo's low, but the Greaves are helping to keep him alive, and that's
he's still got
3 buybacks, but who have they actually got? AU gets off a big avalanche toss combination. Armel looking to follow that up. Jumps through with the orb, and can they actually get anyone on TNC? Tim's is waiting on high ground, gets the Hex onto Alacrity, blitz across, now the wards are down, the defensive imprisonment might be able to get the blink out, but I think they're still going to chase him, and actually they get him down. Cuckoo now with the RP, KYXY out of his ultimate, and looks like he'll also be brought down. The toss back for good measure. TNC absolutely obliterating this fight. That was like, what, must have been 8? For 1, 8 for 0. Didn't even get the Aegis.
Yeah, pretty good fight coming out for TNC there. We just have a look at the fight recap, and a lot of experience going the way of Tim. I don't think you really need it at this point. The game probably going to be over in a little bit of time. Taking out 2 lanes of racks, I would say, in this time.
Yeah, I mean, there's multiple heroes dead for 20 seconds. They push pretty quickly. We said that this was like peak timing for TNC. I didn't realize just how strong that was going to be. Geek Fam, they realized it. They really threw their back to like trying to take that fight with all the buybacks, but still got completely walked over.
Absolutely, and good restraint by Cuckoo as well in that fight. Will hold on to his RP. He was right in the thick of things underneath that tier 2 tower when it was alive, and could have potentially used the RP on a couple of heroes, but maybe just having the confidence in his team of saying, no, we've got this, we're on the winning end of this fight, you don't need to commit everything, and we saw the result, right? 2 or 3 buybacks, they came back in and they died anyway.
It kind of felt like they wanted to bait the OD and then maybe have the Tusk walk out of the trees and snowball him. But then the Dreamcall caught all 3 heroes that were standing there, and then at that point you can't snowball if you're coiled. So they had no turnaround, losing the OD pretty much. So it was a nice attempted counter initiation from Rampo, but they just couldn't get the damage going after that. And this Morphling still feels like he hasn't entered the game at all, even though he is #1 on net worth on the Dire.
Yeah, but that's like a consolation reward, like a participation prize, that you used to get during school athletics.
Yeah. He's #1 on the losing team, and the Shadow Shaman is breathing down his neck for the #4 net worth spot. Tim's even picking up a Yule Scepter at this point. Yule's is kind of an interesting choice. Don't always see this on the Shadow Shaman. What do you make of this? What's it?
Yule's on Shadow Shaman? I guess he's just trying to live for as long as he can, just realizing how vulnerable the Morphling as well as the OD are if you're able to get that CC off onto them.
It's not really too much to interrupt. I guess he could maybe he could break a chain stun combo from the Earthshaker or something, though he has other disables to do that. But yeah, I think
it's more just for himself. Yeah.
He can Yules and then blink away or something like that.
If you see a Tusk rolling into you, if you see an adaptive strike coming at your face, that sort of stuff.
You can see just completely setting up shop outside the Geek Fam base, starving him out. might even try and grab the next 4 bounties. They're already up 20k net worth, heading towards 20k experience, and the win probability has been capped out for the last couple of minutes at 99%. It does get to 100% sometimes, but yeah, I don't know if TNC really need that. They're doing just fine. Gabby's even got a Satanic picked up. This is the dream for Troll. If you can play a game and get away with not buying BKB, you're loving life. But
absolutely, you know, he obviously would like to have the BKB or like to have the level 25 just to be able to dispel a lot of these CCs that come through onto him, but they're going to finish the game before then, I would think.
Yeah, just putting Gabby on the front lines. Master Forwards also deployed. Geek fam thinking about their initiation here. No signs of a smoke or anything for any kind of wrap around. I'm just gonna walk straight into this fight. Rampo hanging back, toss back onto KYXY. The Hex now coming in onto MCY. They've got the Dream Coil down. Nice Fisher breaking up the fight. Rampo jumps in onto Armel. Focusing down the RP, catching the 2. Armel still surviving. The Skewer back now. Armel will take the first kill of this fight. They find second onto the Earthshaker. KYXY's Panda's just getting punched as he tries to retreat back to the fountain, but he's done. That's 3 dead. They find Brian over in the trees.
That's GG.
G will be called. Easy peasy.
Oh, and the instant DC as well. But I thought that was really good. You know, obviously Gabby having the right items up for himself at the end, knowing he's not going to get the Tiny, the Shadow Shaman, and they're just dropping the Mass Serpent Wards as well. It just forces Geek fam into taking a fight that they don't really want to, or they wanted to wait for the perfect opportunity, but it just puts them in an uncomfortable position, right, where you don't want to be playing how you don't want to, if that makes sense, and any chance that you have